Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Venting with Vonda. I do apologize that I haven't been consistent lately. Um, I've pretty much been going through, um, I lost my brother in a tragic car accident a few months ago, and I would say that mentally, I'm not 100%. I wouldn't even say that I was 60%. But I just want to apologize and say that I will do better. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video because I kind of wanted to, just with me talking to some of my friends, coworkers, and just different people on um, bereavement and grief and some of the things that people go through and what's considered appropriate. And I just kind of wanted to uh, instead of me utilizing, I guess, my platform to, talk about other stuff, I think that this is something that I'm going through personally. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So bear with me. Like I said, um, this is a hard time for me, but I did want to share on some of the things that I think for those of you who aren't really sure how to reach out, how to handle, or even how to receive condolences, that this would be just a go to for some of you guys or a reference for some of you guys to know. Um, I will say that when um, I first lost my brother, I was very touched um, from the outpouring of love that I received from people on my social media page, my close friends, family that I just hadn't talked to in a long time. We all have family members that they're family, but you don't talk to them, every day or every month. But, they thought enough to reach out to offer their condolences with me losing my brother. Even so much as coworkers. My coworkers were phenomenal. They sent me flowers, gift cards. I even got a beautiful memorial bracelet with my brother's name and stuff on it that I got from my coworker. So I would honestly say that I appreciated that love from them. But in that same sense, I also experienced having conversations with people who admitted to me that offering condolences or being around someone when they've lost or they're grieving, when they've experienced a loss, I'm sorry, or they're grieving is a little uncomfortable for them. And me growing up in church, in the black church at that, um, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm very familiar with grief. When you're, in church and somebody experience, loss or grief, the church, everybody comes together and they're cooking and, they're raising money and they're doing everything they can for that family, to help them during that difficult time. So I'm that same person. In my everyday life, I'm the person at work, and if any of my coworkers or anybody that have worked with me in the past can contest that, I'm that person that will be like, hey, so and so, passed, or if they're having surgery, just anything like that. I'm the person, to volunteer to, take up the collection. We get the money and we put it in a card, or we go get a gift card, and we present that person with that just to show, that you care. And I guess for some people, that they're just not comfortable with that. But I'm going to give you 5 things that I have had a conversation with, or 5 things that I've experienced, with talking to some of my girlfriends on, what would be considered appropriate. I won't necessarily say that it's etiquette, but it's considered appropriate for you to do when you're, trying to offer your condolences to a friend, a family, or a coworker who may have lost someone or they're experiencing grief. The first thing that I was asked is it okay to text someone to offer your condolences? Or is it okay for you to send your condolences on social media? And to me, I would say absolutely. A lot of times that's the first place that people run and announce that someone has passed, on social media. So everyone doesn't have your cell phone number to immediately text you. But, if you announce, I've seen with us dealing with COVID, I've seen so many people announce losses, and that they're grieving over individuals in their family. And, that's the first thing that I do, my sincere condolences to you and the family. I mean, it's that simple. You can say that. Everybody doesn't expect you to run to their house, and you guys don't even have that type of relationship. But absolutely, it's appropriate for you to offer your condolences on social media, especially if they made the announcement on social media. Now, as far as a text message, I would say yes. Maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that I would have said that a text message is kind of rude and a little out of touch. But definitely, sometimes people are going through and they don't want to talk to anybody. But it's okay to send a text message saying, hey sis, or hey bro, or whoever that person is to you, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. That's perfectly okay. And leave it at that. You have to be okay sometimes with silence. I also had people to tell me that, when they are going through, like I said, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to, they don't want anybody coming to their house. They don't want to, they want to completely cut themselves off from the world. And that's okay, but as long as you reached out as a friend or a coworker or school, whatever you are to that person, and offered your condolences, you did your part. Um, the next thing that I was asked, is it appropriate to give monetary gifts? For me, I would say, it depends on you and your relationship with that person. Like I said, at work, um, we often, at least on my job, we will take up a collection for that person, or we'll, either give the person the cash, or we'll go get a gift card. We want to make sure that we're always doing checks and balances when you're doing things in a group. If I take up a collection, I kind of write down everybody who gave, how much they gave. And then I'll have someone either go with me, or we'll sit down and say, okay, we collected $100, we collected $200, whatever the situation is. We'll go get a gift card, a Visa gift card. Can't go wrong with that. My job actually gave me a Visa gift card, and I'm very thankful for that, because that gift card was used to help buy food. When a person has experienced grief, they don't want to cook, so that gift card does help out with the family when it comes to buying food. If the person who passed away was the breadwinner of the family, collecting a couple of $100s could help pay a bill that the family may not have had since that person is gone. So whatever monetary gift, there's no right or wrong amount. If you gave $5, great. If you gave $500, absolutely wonderful. But whatever you give should be from the heart, and I'm sure that whatever you gave, the bereaved family would definitely appreciate it. Like I said, it can be in the form of cash. It could also be in the form of a gift card. It's just whatever your heart desires. Number three, um, what do you send to a person when someone passes away? For me, like I said, growing up in church, my go-to is that, depending on my relationship with you, and depending on if you male or female, my go-to, I genuinely send flowers, especially if you're female. I'll send flowers. If I know you, I try to send flowers directly to the home. Um, if it's coworkers, something like that, I'll try to send things, to the funeral home. You can also, if it's mail, like I said, you can't go wrong, with the gift card, a monetary gift card. Um, but whatever you give, or you can do something. I've even gone to things remembered, and had things engraved. Find something that they would enjoy. You again, you got to know your audience. and just, send them a gift, have something, memorialized, maybe something that they would be able to treasure to put into their bedroom, or they may have a altar or something that they want to put for their deceased loved one. But whatever you feel that would be appropriate or that your heart desire, but absolutely, it's okay to send a gift. It's not a must. It's not something that you have to do, but I mean, I think that sending a gift to someone when they've lost a loved one is definitely appropriate. Um, Number four, asking, how can you help? How can you be of assistance? One of the things that when you're going through um, is to try to be a good listener. You may have to be that shoulder to cry on, for them. I would just say try to offer your time. If you ask someone, how can you help them? There are so many other ways that, you can help them. One of the things that, I would say is, I was blessed to have some really good girlfriends. When my brother passed, I didn't want to cook. I really didn't feel like cleaning. I really didn't feel like doing anything. I was really in a dark space. I was trying to be there for my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, and his children and grandchildren, that I was neglecting myself and in my home. Not in a bad way, and it wasn't intentional, but I appreciated the fact that I had good girlfriends who thought enough of me to come over and check on me. And, they came over, they saw I had laundry. I had washed clothes. I did laundry, but they weren't folded. The clothes weren't folded. They came over. I didn't even have to ask. They just jumped in and started, helping me with the laundry. I had a girlfriend that came over and she jumped in and was like, you know what, let me wash these dishes. I had a girlfriend that came over and she brought dinner, which was, I know my husband loved that because like I said, I hadn't cooked in a few days. It was just really hard for me, and it's still hard now. I've been I had an okay day yesterday, but today has been one of those hard days, and I'm really trying. But during that time right after his accident, it was hard. Trying to get in the kitchen and think to prepare meals was just the furthest from my mind. I felt like a horrible mother because I was relying on Happy Meals to, feed my toddler. And it's not that I wanted to, but it's just that I really didn't have the strength to go in the kitchen and cook a proper meal. So I thank God for having, girlfriends that cared enough for me to, say, hey, I'm going to go over there and, I'm going to prepare a meal for her and her family, so they can eat. I even had my girlfriend and her mom, prepare a meal for my brother's family. I just, it's just so much that you can do when people are going through. You don't have to spend money. Back in the day, our ancestors, they didn't have, money to give. So what they did give was preparing food. And, if you can't do anything, I always joke and say, when someone that I know that passes away, I'm good for bringing some chicken. I'm gonna go to Henderson's, Halls, Churches, Kentucky, whatever your favorite is. But I'm gonna go buy some chicken. I'm gonna make sure that you get some sides. I'm gonna make sure, because I know that when you're grieving, food and cooking is the last thing that's on your mind. But your children and your husband or whoever else is in the house with you still have to eat. I would also say that, if someone is grieving, and they need things done, you can also go over, you know, you can help them clean up the house. You can, help babysit their kids. I know that people don't like being bothered with other folks' children, but, that is a phenomenal help, or just something to de-stress them. If you're able to say, you know what, I know that you're going through right now, let me get the kids and let me keep the kids for you, even if it's just for a day, just to give them some rest. Or, hey, I know right now, you might be feeling some type of way, to just try to go over and see what it is that you can do for them to help them out, to ease their mind, just to help them cope, because everybody handles grief and loss differently, but you have to take yourself out of it. And, if that person, if you truly love that person or you care about that person, um, you have to put yourself in their shoes and say that if this were me, how would I want somebody to handle me if I lost my mother, my father, my sibling, my children, whatever the situation is? And I think that if you keep that in mind, I don't think that you will go wrong on how you're handling your friends or your close relatives or coworkers or whoever, when it comes to grief. I've had someone that to write me a beautiful handwritten letter, just to tell me that that they were really sorry for what my family was going through, and if there was anything that they could do for us, that they would definitely be there. Those type of things, I appreciate. Again, like I said, when you're sending gifts, you have to know your audience. I appreciated every text message, every call, every gesture that I received. But I will say that I've had my feelings hurt by, trying to reach out or send condolences to people, and it wasn't, they weren't receptive. And for whatever reason, if somebody is not receptive to what you say or what you send them during this time, because again, like I said, everybody grieves differently, honey, you just give that to God. You really can't worry about that, because again, some people go in a really dark place when they're dealing with loss or grief. And, no two people handle things the same. So with me, I just pretty much said that moving forward, I'm just going to make sure that I know my audience when it comes to me offering, condolences. I proceed with caution unless I know you firsthand or personally like that, to know that whatever I send you, whatever I say to you, whatever I call to you, that, it will be received with love, and I don't offend anybody by sending them something or saying something to them that they um, may take offensively. The last thing that I want to say, which is why I just touched on that, um, the biggest thing that when you are trying to, or you're dealing with someone, a close family, friend, loved one, whoever it is that is dealing with loss or bereavement, don't be an asshole. It's not about you. It's not. At this moment, it's about them. If you're going to be there for them, be present, be there for them. You don't want to go over someone's house, and you're on your cell phone, you're texting, you're on social media, you're laughing and joking on a phone call with someone, but you're supposed to be there with that person, to be that shoulder to lean on. um don't be difficult. You don't want to be an asshole where you're sitting there starting an argument or a fight with someone who is dealing with a loss. um you definitely don't want to be selfish, calling attention to yourself, talking about how you handle things when your mother passed, or how you handle things, or how you plan the funeral when your father passed, or your nieces, nephews. It's not about you. If you're going to be there for someone, you need to be there for them. And I think that, even so much as when you call somebody, a lot of times we get so self-absorbed in what we got going on from day to day, that we forget to pick up the phone sometimes and call and check, after the funeral, and after the person has been buried or cremated or whatever services that you had. People tend to, oh, well, they should be okay. And that's one of the things that my daughter, kind of had a hard time when we were discussing going through this. It's like, we're still stuck, from that moment that we got that phone call saying that my brother had passed away in this car accident. I still got to go to work. I still got to be a wife. I still got to be a mother. I still got to go to work and be a boss. My life doesn't stop. My day-to-day life does not stop. But at the same time, my mind is still stuck, from that morning that I got that tragic phone call. So if you're going to be there for somebody, I get it that nobody's telling you that you got to call them every day. Nobody's saying that you got to go over their house. My grandmother always fusses and said that when people are grieving, how people just rush over to your house and you look up, you got 50 people in your house. They don't let you rest. Nobody's saying that you have to do that, but maybe put on your calendar, hey, let me call and check on my girl, or let me call and check on my friend or my family member, whoever it is, maybe once a week, or depending on your relationship, maybe check back with them every 2 weeks. Hey, just checking on you, just seeing how you're doing, just making sure you're okay. And again, if that person is not receptive to it, at that time, depending on your relationship, back off, try again later. But if you don't have that type of relationship with them and they show you that they're not interested, or leave me alone, then give that person that space. Because again, like I said, we all grieve differently and handle things, but you don't want to be an asshole and ruin a friendship, based on you not being there for that person, or you offending that person when they're going through their time of bereavement or loss. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I mean, I'm trying to do this video to hold it together. Um, it's hard, it's difficult when you're dealing with the loss of a family member, and there's really no right or wrong way to offer your condolences. But I will say, just try to be there for that person, because this is a really hard space to be in right now. It really is. It's a hard space. And I'm trying um I'm trying to do everything I can to cope. I'm in counseling. Grief counseling is it's hard. I have insomnia. I don't sleep. I'm blessed to get 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and if I get more than that, that's because I have medicated myself, so that I can sleep. So, with that being said, just try your best, you guys, to do whatever you can to um, offer your condolences, and to be there for someone, and let them know that they're not alone in what they're going through. So again, that's all I got. Ain't got no mo. And thank you guys for listening to Venting with Vonda. Definitely don't forget to like, subscribe. Any comments that you have, please put it in the comment section. I truly appreciate it. Again, I apologize. I'm going to do better. I'm just trying to get my mental health back up to where it needs to be, so that I'm putting out quality content and not just doing videos just to be out here. But pray for my strength in the Lord. I'm going to get stronger. It's going to get better. It's one day at a time. Pray for my family. And I just appreciate you guys for being loyal subscribers to my channel. Thank you. I love you guys. Have a blessed day.